Hello, I'm Fahd Abu Aisha, the director of Regal London's Middle East office based in Dubai. Today we have Nicholas Spencer, who is the head of the international projects sales team for Knight Frank's office in Dubai. It's a pleasure to have you with us, Nick.
Thanks for having me, Fahd.
We'll get right into it, Nick. What is the current state of the London property market and what opportunities does this open up to our Middle Eastern investors?
Good question, Fahd, and a big one to open with. So I think it's a good opportunity for me just to address the elephant in the room. We're not operating at the moment in the best London economy. There are tax implications for overseas investors that have been pushed up. There's political and social uncertainty. And when you put all of that in a mixing pot, there's a bit of an ambiguous sentiment to the London market. And it's just giving people pause to think about whether or not it's the right market for them at the moment. But that said, there is still some positive sides to it, and there is still an affinity with the market. There is still demand. We are still transacting. The rental market is still very robust, and in some instances, in zones 1 and 2, we're seeing yields in excess of 5% being returned, which is very strong. And whilst the prime central London market may have been, on a capital appreciation basis, a bit stagnant for the last 12 months, the greater London market has generally appreciated by around 2%. So I think it contributes to that overall story about the London market being a stable performer. And if you're looking at the London market with a long-term view, then I think it should still step up and perform and be that sort of long-term safety deposit box that we're very familiar with still.
And just to pick up on that point, there is a special affinity, as you said, with Middle Eastern buyers towards London. What makes London such an attractive destination for our buyers, whether it's from an investment or for personal use?
So exactly that, Fahd. There's always going to be an affinity from the Middle East, and irrespective of whatever economical or political landscape we're working in, the cornerstones that make London an exciting and attractive proposition are still in place. You've still got the retail, you've still got the history, the culture, and I think from an overseas investment perspective, importantly, you've got the educational piece as well. And as long as those cornerstones are in place, there'll always be a demand from this part of the world going back to what many consider to be their second home.
And how do currency fluctuations and financial incentives impact property investment decisions for GCC buyers?
So, I mean, a lot of the currencies out here in the Middle East are pegged against the dollar. And we're in a position right now where the pound is depreciating a little bit when benchmarked against the dollar, and that's ultimately going to create better value for money for those currencies pegged against the dollar. The pound, to my knowledge, is still on the decline, so that window of opportunity is lengthening for those that are interested in buying in London. And then also there's additional incentives as well. I mean, we mentioned earlier that there are additional tax implications for foreign investors right now. So some developers are looking to counter that by contributing towards the additional stamp duty that they might have to pay. There are furniture packs. There are all sorts of little mechanisms on top of the usual dealing margins, and obviously we work in quite a discount-driven market out here. So there's always that negotiation to take advantage of. So when you put all of the negotiation tools into a mixing pot and you compound it with the currency play, I don't think you'll sort of negotiate with a developer in the UK right now who's not willing to facilitate a sale or looking to help it go as far as it can go. So I think in that regard, there's still business to be done.
There is indeed business to be done, Nick. Can you share insights on the prime London locations that resonate with Middle Eastern buyers and why that is the case?
So I think there's pockets of performance all over London at the moment, Fahd. We've seen a notable uptick in the last couple of years in the likes of Canary Wharf and East London, where there's a lot of regeneration projects at lower capital values that are accessible to the wider markets. The City of London has also seen some attractive opportunities there. You had the Hayden development yourself, which was obviously very popular with our Middle Eastern markets. But when you look at the holistic market and where most of our demographics tend to focus, West does tend to be best. And we've seen most of our activity over the course of the last 12 months in the likes of Mayfair, Marylebone, Chelsea, Fulham, riverside locations, and developments that are sort of coming up for completion as well. The more tangible decision that people can make is definitely a favourable one at the moment. And I think probably the best case study of all of that right now is your own Fulton and Fifth development, which is, of course, located in West London. It was strong connectivity into central London. First phase coming up for completion now. So everything I've sort of discussed, is highlighted within that very development.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Nick. As you know, it was one of London's best-selling developments in 2024 last year for the exact factors that you highlighted: the connectivity, the accessibility to central London, the vibrant, lifestyle that's around there with the shops, the cafes, and how all the regeneration has been built up over the past decade in Wembley, and it's become a proper destination. But thank you for your time and sharing your insights with our viewers. And to our viewers, I hope you found this discussion insightful. For more information on our development Fulton and Fifth in Wembley or any other development in the Regal London portfolio, please do get in touch on our contact details below. Thank you very much.